before you flatline. Make a master plan, watch it backfire. Burn it all down and collect the ashes. Build it back. Respect
It's
your
gotten
past.
worse over the last like 10 years, but I thought like even somebody like Paul George was gonna be like borderline. Now
As soon as Tracy McGrady got in, I knew Paul George.
Yeah, it's like no question.
They have the same career.
I don't know about all that, but
yeah. Tracy got a scoring title. That's it.
That's the one thing that separates him.
Then that's what separates him, nigga. He's a way better scorer. Like, what we talking about?
Way better as a stretch. And Paul George made all defensive teams. That brings him right back even again.
Man, they.
No, I don't know. I feel like Tracy's slightly better.
Paul George has never in his life been in the best player in the league conversation.
Yeah.
Neither was
That's
Tracy.
what ends that. What?
No, Tracy McGrady for sure
your age is showing right now saying that.
I'm gonna call a spade a spade. He averaged 2 points a game for an Orlando Magic team. Y'all pretended there was actually a conversation between him and Kobe.
Oh, so there was a conversation. There was. So there was a conversation.
There was. And guess what? No one with any rational brain cells thought Tracy McGrady in 2002 or 3 was better than Shaquille O'Neal. Nobody. Or Tim Duncan.
Said he was
Kobe was in the, hold on. You're talking about the same time that niggas had Kobe in the argument for best player in the league. So Shaq was not far and away considered the best player in the league at that time. Even that you're talking about. So to say the whole national brain cells, nigga, there was an argument between them. That's all I'm saying. Paul George, have you ever heard of Paul George ever at any point in time, even by casuals, as being the best player in the league ever in his career?
I hear it right now. They're calling them kids calling him the GOAT. I hear it right now. What you mean? If some revisionist in real time is two different things, Shell.
That's what we're doing with Tracy. And I was
I'm telling you what the conversation was at that time, nigga, because you was 3 years old.
You remember when Tracy punched on? You remember when Tracy? I mean, not Tracy. They the same nigga. You remember when Paul George punched on Birdman? And they were saying, "Yo, if you got some help, you'd have took Miami." Same damn conversation.
That's not calling you the best player in the league. It just means if you have more help, you would have beat the best player in the league.
Who had more help than you? If they're saying the best player in the league is beating me because he has more help than me, then what's that make me?
You know what this sounds like? You ever seen that meme?
And this is why
a nigga changed your whole argument. You can say
this is why the Tracy McGrady conversation gets ridiculous.
Damn, that means you don't
because it's always like,
nigga, I just said,
bro, that scoring title separates them.
I'll take 3 all-defensive teams over a scoring title. I promise I will.
That's crazy.
back up though.
You can get a score.
Man, I don't give a fuck, nigga. T-Mac was better. T-Mac was on the cover of a game. All type of shit, nigga.
That's
and that's not a good benchmark.
What game was he on?
2K17.
Why they put him on 2K?
Hey, Griffin was on the cover of a game. We're gonna sit here and say that he was.
Or was it 17 or 16?
He didn't deserve that shit. Didn't nobody want to be on the cover? They just threw him on there.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. That's sly hating, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you.
What the fuck was he do? What the fuck did he do to be on the cover of 2K that year?
I mean, he was good. He was the only legitimate threat to Brian every year for those little 2-3 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like the cover.
Nah.
Let's have some conversations. Paul George played 15 years in the NBA. Tracy McGrady played 16 years in the NBA. Paul George was an All-Star 9 times. Tracy was an All-Star 7 times. Paul George made first team All-NBA once. Tracy made it twice.
Bro, the conversation. Hold on. The conversation isn't who had a better career. We're talking about who just the better player was.
You started all this bullshit because I said they had the same fucking career and they did.
They did.
The scoring title, though,
who's the better player, though?
T-Mac.
Paul George had a probably better career because T-Mac kept getting hurt. Paul George only had like one major injury his whole career. So, of course, the stats is going to be
one. This is more than one.
I said major.
More than one.
I said major.
Even down to the injuries, same career. And if you're gonna ask me who's a better basketball player, if both of y'all are elite scorers, I'm gonna take the dude who plays defense too and played better in the playoffs.
T-Mac was not a bad defender, bro. Like it's like you keep saying that as if like the nigga didn't play defense.
The gap between T-Mac and Tracy on defense is
T-Mac played way better.
No, it's not. I feel like you just like saying that slowly because that is definitely not true. T-Mac, he was not no coach.
Was really solid.
Wait. This nigga said Paul George played better than T-Mac in the playoffs. I specifically
Absolutely.
remember
100%.
Paul George
100%.
missing a
Have you
free
seen
throw,
Tracy make a second round?
being up.
How did we end up to Paul George versus T-Mac, bro?
T-Mac
How
never
did this
did
happen?
that.
Let's get
Round.
back
This
to
show was
He
crazy.
got hurt. He got hurt though.
See, this is why the show goes on
He
for.
got hurt. He got hurt. He never choked it. He never choked in the finals. In the
You
conference
anything?
finals.
What are we talking about?
That's
you
why the
talking
show
about?
goes on for 12 hours.
How to?
Nigga's crazy, bro.
Because this nigga Chev the most stubborn nigga on
What
the
you got
planet.
against McGrady? What you got against McGrady?
I have.
He got something against every
him.
2000 star. I feel like I ain't
I
gonna
got
lie.
something against.
Because then
Tracy
nobody
McGrady
want to go
that said
play
him
for
and
the
Paul
Knicks in
George
the
had
early
same
2000s with they bum ass. That's all it is.
Him and Paul George had the same career. That's something against Tracy.
Yeah, you got something against Tracy. I know what it was because Tracy got hurt and he didn't end up playing for y'all weak ass. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's really what it is.
I want y'all. Somebody tell me where I said something bad about Tracy McGrady of saying him and Paul George had the same career.
Man, we're not talking about
Hall
the
of
career.
Fame.
We're
I can
saying
tell
who
you-
the better
can I tell you-
player.
What are we
Can
talking
I
about?
tell you?
It's that.
Can I tell you? You said that the
Listen.
gap. You said their gap
All
on
right,
defense
listen.
was bigger than their gap, way bigger than their gap on offense.
Nah, listen
You
to this.
added
That was
way
bad.
by
Listen
yourself. I
Listen
said
to this.
you added way by yourself.
Bro, listen to this. Take the stats away. Take the stats away. Take all
Okay.
the accolades away.
Okay.
Bring a basketball out and let them
Paul.
two niggas hoop. Who is
Paul.
the better
Paul.
player,
That's
bro?
cap.
Paul.
That's cap.
Paul.
That's
Paul.
cap shit.
That's
Fuck
crazy.
no.
That's
That's
Tracy.
cap.
Fuck no.
I gotta agree
Right
with
now,
that.
Paul.
I think
That is Tracy McGrady all day.
Paul.
You can't.
Paul.
That's crazy.
Absolutely
Tracy
not.
has better
and that's
footwork.
actually
Paul
nasty. I'm not gonna
handles.
lie.
Paul was
That
a better
is
shooter.
nasty.
Paul was a better
I
fender.
feel like
The
y'all are
answer is Paul.
disrespecting
Yes.
This nigga is crazy.
Paul
bro.
was a
Put
better
that
shooter.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Yes, absolutely. Sure is.
Put that
Best
shit.
shooter.
Short, better shooter. 100. Yes.
Bro. T-Mac
Okay.
a better player. He scored 13 points in 30 seconds, nigga, to win a fucking game.
Reggie
George
scored
would've-
9 and 8.
Paul George would have fucking turned the ball over 13
And Reggie
times,
Hall of Famer
nigga.
too. Why you bring that up?
I'm saying, all right. So
And he's
if the argument Tracy scored 13 in 35 seconds, no one else did that. Does that make
You
Tracy
said,
the GOAT? No,
you
it
said,
doesn't matter.
you said Paul George is a better defender. They have a
Yes, he is.
4-minute clip of
100%.
this nigga getting cooked, nigga, for game winners, nigga, his whole fucking career.
We have clips of Jordan getting cooked. What are we talking about?
No,
if you play enough
not-
basketball, you're going to get
not
cooked.
game
I can
winners.
show you
Not game winners, though.
I can show you defensive player of the
Game
year
winners.
getting dunked on.
Game
That
winners.
happens to literally
No,
everyone.
hey, game winners.
What are we talking
Every
about?
year, nigga. If it's a game time situation and you got Paul George on it, your percentage to make
We
that
don't even
bitch goes
want
up
Tracy guarding the best shooter on a game time situation. We
because he
knew
was
that.
hurt.
We knew T-Mac don't give a.
Nigga, that's only because he had Grant Hill, who to me was like the generation's best defender. So of course he gonna guard him over T-Mac.
The generation that had Bruce Bowen in it, or the generation that had Scottie Pippen in it? Which
I
one?
said one of them, nigga. I didn't
You
say
said
he was.
This nigga.
I don't think that's a crazy take to take PG over Tracy. I think it is definitely a conversation. I disagree on that part because it's making it seem like there's not a conversation, but there's 100% a conversation.
That's the disrespect right there.
I
Talking
just
about it
don't-
ain't no
I just don't-
conversation. Like,
That's
what
not
the fuck?
disrespect.
You're the one
My
saying
thing
there's no
is, like I said,
That's the same
T-Mac
person.
had a legitimate best player in the league argument at one point. Paul George has never had that. So I'm not putting them niggas in the same realm. Other than what Chev has brought up on the show before, is that
Because
these
y'all
kids
overrate
feel the
Jordan.
same way about Paul George as we did about T-Mac. That's the only thing I agree with him on.
Which would suggest even more thoroughly, despite them having nearly identical accolades, identical stats, being the same size, playing the same positions. Yeah, they're the same person, dog.
I'll agree to disagree.
back, as Ragu would say, JC, back to regular schedule, back to regular programming.
Y'all won't find one NBA prospect that comes in that gets compared to Tracy McGrady that doesn't also get compared to Paul George. Because they're the same fucking nigga. But keep going.
But it just never translated into the ultimate goal.
And we would be saying the same thing about Kevin if he ain't joined.
I disagree. I just told you Reggie Jackson. I just told you he had Reggie Jackson and went to the semifinals, nigga. So that's not true. He got further without Russ than Russ ever got without him.
Wait.
OKC.
You said he went where? He went where?
He got further without Russ in OKC.
No, before that. You said Reggie Jackson. I didn't hear that.
That was the second best player.
No, they went where with Reggie Jackson?
to the semifinals.
The conference
Yes, they
final?
did.
Semifinals.
Yes, they did.
So the second round.
Yes.
Round 2,
What are you
yeah.
talking about?
You make
Is
that.
that not further than rest?
That's
Yeah,
what we give a damn about, boy.
that's further.
That's not further than not making playoffs or getting
Round
bounced
2
in the
is
first round
further
by
than
5.
round 1.
By 5?
Round two definitely further than round one.
He's not a one and done.
Angry.
He won play. So now niggas don't care about winning playoff series. All right, I'm glad to know that precedent. Keep that same energy when another topic and debate come up. Keep that same
That's why
energy
the
too.
Knicks
Trying
suck,
to,
nigga.
because we just had this conversation about Paul George and Tracy McGrady. We just did.
Oh, that was different.
That was.
Oh, that was different.
But Chef, come on. We all know T-Mac is the better baller. I don't mean to go back to that point, but we all know that.
I just know I was younger, so I was more amazed.
So you don't even remember T-Mac.
So you been amazed by what Paul George be doing on the court? You be amazed?
I think Paul
you ain't
George
never had
better.
a pair of T-Macs on your feet.
Nah, I did have that Orlando jersey on my back. Though. I had that Orlando jersey.
You ain't never had a PG jersey.
Nah,
Hey,
I was
JC,
older
clip
at
that.
this point. I was older. I had an Allen Iverson jersey. I don't think AI is the GOAT. Like I don't.
Nobody on here call T-Mac the
He's better
GOAT.
than a lot of the jerseys I had.
Did nobody on here call T-Mac the GOAT?
He just referencing when kids say that.
He's better than Paul
Having
George.
your jersey does not make you the better player.
He's just
No,
better
I
than
was
Paul
never
gonna
George.
get a
a
Tim
more
Duncan.
memorable.
I would say,
Reputable
hold on,
player.
Tizzy, I can't say that.
To us,
Tizzy and Dre, I can't say that we didn't call T-Mac the GOAT because there is a lot of people from our generation who were saying like, if we take everything away and we just go off of how nigga played, or if it wasn't for injuries, he probably would have been the greatest ever. Like I have heard spit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Niggas say that shit about Derrick Rose. They say he the greatest what if ever.
Yeah, Iverson's another one who kind of gets that pound for pound greatest ever, which I never knew what that meant.
You flatline, make a master plan, watch it backfire. Burn it all down and collect the ashes. Build it back, respect your passion.